Hey guys, Sean here and welcome to the F1 Word. Now earlier this morning Sauber launched their 2018 car, the C37. And I have to say, all in all, a very good looking car. Yes, okay, the livery is basically the same as the concept one we saw a couple of months ago. But if you push that to one side, there are some very interesting changes on this year's car and a real departure from what Sauber usually do when it comes to aero, and also completely different in some areas to what we've seen from the cars that have been launched so far. This video is just going to be my initial impressions of that car. If you want something a little bit more detailed, then make sure you join us tomorrow night at 7 PM UK time, where we will be analysing the Red Bull, the Renault, and of course, this Alfa Sauber. First off then, and my eyes are immediately drawn to the side pods, and in particular the air intake on them. A real step away from what they had last year and from what anybody else appears to be developing at this point as well. Not just the air intake though, but the aerodynamics around it. I'm absolutely loving that wing just sat on top there of the side pods. And what I refer to as the second barge board, again, is completely different to what was on the car last year. I'll pop some pictures up kind of comparing the two, and you can really see the difference. The barge board itself is a lot more detailed than they had on last year's car, and I have to say it looks a little bit longer to me as well. And if we look at, say, the Red Bull, you look at the Sauber with the Haas and the Williams as side-by-sides, if you like, you can definitely see that a lot of teams are going in very different directions with those barge boards and down the side of the car. And I'm expecting to see a lot of development throughout the season in that area from probably all the teams. This is the first car we've seen so far where we've got some proper different angles and some close-ups of that halo. And you can clearly see some new fairings on it, particularly and most obviously what I guess you could call the wing sat on top of it. We thought we'd spotted something on the Red Bull yesterday, which we will talk about in tomorrow's live stream, but this is the most obvious one we've seen. It's great to get another angle as well, and almost a T-cam shot. It just gives us a chance to look a little bit more closely at it. Aside from those fairings though, it's the halo and there's not really a lot else to say about it. But I would say it's probably one of the better looking ones we've seen so far. Going back to air intakes then and just going above the halo to the airbox, you can see this Sauber has developed nostrils, as they're called. And once again, that's completely different to anything we've seen so far and a massive departure from what they had last year. In terms of the rest of the car, I have to say it's just a very clean and nice looking car. Yeah, it's got some nice little bits of aero on there, but it's not overly complicated, and that's important for Sauber because this car is going to get developed massively throughout the course of the year, especially once that Alfa backing really starts to pay off and they get that influence as well. I will say as well that my favourite shot of the car so far is from the back. I don't know if it's the livery that makes it, but I just think the back of that car looks absolutely fantastic. And I'll be honest, despite maybe the Red Bull livery yesterday, this is the first car that has really surprised me this year. I didn't expect much from Alfa Sauber, to be honest. But some of the changes to that car, the intricate detail is really, really impressive. And like I say, such a departure from what we're used to seeing from them. And that's maybe part of why I'm so impressed with it. I am disappointed with the livery. I mean, it looks okay, but we've kind of got used to that already from the concept one we saw. But even the halo, for me, particularly on that front shot, actually looks alright. And that is going to annoy people. I kind of feel as well, looking at this car, that there's a little bit of renewed optimism around Sauber as well now. It just feels like they've made a big step forward, and I'm really excited for 2018 and their possible prospects. They are just my initial impressions though. What do you think of the new Sauber C37? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I will be back later this afternoon for a first look at the new Renault RS18, which launches at 3 PM UK time. And don't forget to join us tomorrow night at 7 PM UK time for our midweek live stream, where we will be going a little bit more in depth on the Sauber, the Red Bull, and of course the Renault. In the meantime though, you can follow me on social media. Links to Facebook, Twitter and to Discord are all in the description down below. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean. This has been the F1 Word, and until next time, goodbye.